Is mine. Your bail has been posted.
Really? By whom? Oh, on your side for Sunrise. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Well, clearly somebody has to look after you. Would you uncuff your brother, please?
You might want to reconsider. Ethan's safer in lockup right now than he is out on the street.
Hey.
Hey.
I brought you a mocha. I know it's your favorite.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Even my lips hurt.
I'm sorry. Hey, look at me. The first day after is always the worst. And I'm not just talking about the pain. You're gonna have a lot of people coming to you asking a lot of questions. And the police are gonna come. And they're gonna wanna know everything that happened with Ethan.
I came to speak to you about my daughter, and specifically about the animal that beat her up.
I'll help you any way I can.
I'm sure that Sonny has already ordered you to kill Ethan. And while I admit there's a part of me that would really enjoy that, you can't. Well, doesn't that speak volumes about law enforcement in Port Charles if the only way you can keep him safe from Sonny Corinthos is by keeping him locked up?
Unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation. Kristina was beaten brutally, and she ID'd Ethan as the attacker.
Which is completely absurd.
I'm not saying it isn't, but a room full of people at the Haunted Star saw you arguing with her earlier that night. They also saw you grab her arm. Hard enough to leave a pretty nasty bruise.
Okay, that's a completely separate issue, and it doesn't prove anything.
You're right, it doesn't. But I have to be honest, if I saw my child beaten as badly as Kristina was, I don't think I'd have a very rational response. I'd want to see the guy pay, maybe even want him dead. And Sonny has the capacity and the resources to make that happen. Now, I'm offering you police protection, Ethan.
Thanks, but I'll pass. If my own brother doesn't even believe me, I'm no safer here.
I'm sorry about Kristina, I really am.
Did you hear what I said?
I don't think that we should talk about this. Alexis, you're upset.
Upset doesn't even begin to describe how I'm feeling right now. My daughter's in the hospital and I barely recognize her. I want Ethan to pay for what he did, every bit as much as Sonny does. But if Ethan dies, Kristina will blame herself even more than she already does. I'm warning you, Jason. You kill Ethan, my daughter is not going to recover.
Do we have to tell the police? I just want this whole thing to be over. I don't want to think about it anymore.
I know, baby. I've been where you are, okay? And I know you're probably feeling really guilty and ashamed right now, like you're the one to blame, even though you're lying here in the hospital bed. It's really weird how that works, but it's wrong. I can tell you from my own experience that this is not your fault, and you really, really need to know that, okay? And I can also tell you, you are going to get better. And you're going to come out of this a lot stronger than you were before.
Do you think my face will be like it was before?
Yeah, of course it will. These are just bruises. And they're going to heal up in time. You just got to give it time. But you are still beautiful, so don't you worry about that.
I don't want anyone to see me right now not like this.
Okay. You don't have to worry about that. I'm going to make sure the only people get in here are the people who really need to talk to you. But you do have to understand that the police are going to come in here and they are going to ask you a lot of questions about what happened with Ethan, and you have to be honest with them. The most important thing to remember is you cannot, I beg you, you cannot protect your attacker. Ethan has to pay the consequences for what he did to you. This is his fault, not yours.
Okay, I think think I'm getting kind of tired now.
Okay. Well, then I guess you need to get a little bit of rest. 'Cause I'm just gonna go and do something. Is that cool?
That's cool. Thanks, Sam, for everything.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you too.
Close your eyes. Get some sleep.
I can't. I can't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I just want to see how you're doing.
The pain medication is starting to wear off. And honestly, everything really hurts.
I'm so sorry. I don't even know where to begin. You know, I know sorry is not enough. I just can't believe I did this to you. It honestly feels like it really wasn't me. You know, like everything that whole night was just like this big blur. I was just so pissed when I found out that you ditched me for Ethan. And you were wearing the dress that I bought you. I just lost control.
I thought you were going to kill me.
I swear I never meant to do that. I swear to God.
You said that the last time you hit me. You promised it would never happen again, and I forgave you. I'm sorry. I lied to you. But how could you do this to me?
I can't stand that I did this to you. That I hurt you like this. So why did you protect me? Why did you tell him it was Ethan?
As you can see, I emptied it out. So if you're thinking of taking off, you're not going to get very far, at least not on my dime.
Well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Tracy. But I have no intention of running, not with all this hanging over my head. Look, I didn't do this, Tracy. And I intend to stick around as long as it takes to clear my name.
I do want to believe you, but I'm going to reserve judgment until we get the DNA test back from underneath Kristina's fingernails.
She scratched my face. I told you that. It's gonna be my skin. I just hope there's someone else's DNA there too.
Which begs the question, if not you, then who?
I have no idea, but I intend to find out. Kristina was looking for trouble that night. Okay, it could have been anyone.
She came to you.
Yeah, and I rejected her. I have no idea what happened to her after that.
Okay, well, it sounds really feeble, Ethan, and I'm on your side. If you're going to convince anybody else, you're going to have to work a lot harder.